Here's the picture of the same team that we just looked at. Anything different about him?
Looks ripped apart.
Looks ripped apart. And that's a symbolization of exactly what we do to our children. You know, little bit by bit. And we just don't really think it's important. It could be something just minute, but it's still got to come off. It's a piece of piece. And then we end up with something like this where it almost looks like a boy. It almost looks just like he did. Almost.
Still frail though from all the.
Almost, but it's not. It's not quite. And I know this is not real, but it really is real in our lives with our children. We just have to be careful what we say, what we put in, because what you put in is what you get back. Mm-hmm. And so we really need to be careful with that. And also, I wanted just to kind of summarize. And so today we talked about learning about ourselves, becoming aware of ourselves, right? We talked about what else?
How what we say affects how our children view things and go about things and how they feel about themselves.
Okay. And what else we talked about? We talked about our parenting styles. We talked about the parenting style, but we didn't really get down to what type we were. So that's where this is the spot I want to put that in. What would you say? Are you the giving orders or the giving in or the giving choices?
I'm giving in and giving choices because I am both.
You're both. Giving in and giving choices. Okay.
Yeah, because if I don't give in, then I'm the person to say, well, if you're going to do this, then you can't do this. Or if you want to do this, you got to do this. So
that's the giving choices. That's okay. So, Shanita, what style do you use at home?
Both. Yeah, because like my kids, I try to give them chores. They always like to, they want to play the game or, they want a certain snack, and stuff, or they want to go outside and ride their bikes. I say, well, in order to ride your bikes, you have to ride in the yard or the parking lot, which is in the back of my house, but not in the street. Because when they first got the bikes, I couldn't keep them out the street. So I took the bikes, locked them up in the closet. They didn't see the bikes were like 6 months. So now
wow. I bet they heard that lesson.
I mean, they stay on the street now, but
okay.
It was like my 5-year-old, he just so energizing. He don't know for car. I mean, he think he know, but almost got hit on it. So after that, I took the bike, put them away.
Okay.
And nobody could ride. And then everybody like, that's not fair because he almost got hit right. Because not, and it ain't fair. But my 5-year-old, he get the hollering and screaming. If he see one doing this, and he can't do it, he get screaming. It was my nerves just too bad for that.
So then, do you think you're more giving in or giving choices?
I think giving choices.
Giving choices. Okay. What about you, DJ?
I guess I'd be completely just be giving in because I have no. I'm just not stern. I mean, my boys have 2 boys, and I clean up after them. I don't know.
So you're the giving in.
Oh yeah.
I would never have guessed that.
I mean, I'm not a really
looks
sharp
so-
side to me, but when it comes to my kids, I mean, it just kind of goes out the door.
Yeah.
hearing how she talks about how her boys are, I would have thought she was giving it. She'd been the authority.
No. I mean, my husband is he's
Okay.
the one.
He's authoritative. And you're
Yeah,
giving
and
in.
I guess I'm like the good guy, and he's the bad guy, or you know.
Good cop, bad cop. Yeah.
Kinda.
I guess you have to have that balance.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure sometimes I don't, gang but
I mean, I've whipped
But-
my kids a few times or put them in a corner or something, and it's,
Right.
I mean, I cry, literally. I just go and
Oh,
cry.
I did that
It's horrible. I
with
just
my
can't do it.
Okay.
I mean, I'm like that with the dogs.
But
Okay.
I couldn't give in when I seen him almost get hit by a car.
No.
So you have your bottom line.
Yeah, you
I think
said
we all
yeah.
have a bottom line. So,
My little boy taught me one of my most valuable lessons I think I ever learned from my children. He was what, 11, 12 years old when he taught me this lesson. And I tell us because every weekend when they would come to my house, I was all the time telling them, if you do this, I'm going to spank you. If you do this, I'm going to spank you. If you do this, I'm going to spank you. Kid never got spanked. Never got spanked. For one day, they was at the house, my little girl had a ring, just an old little cheap gumball ring I gave her, but she'd worked for like a year or two. And it finally broke on her. So she laid on top of me and wanted it put up. And I said, okay. I was outside, the doors open, I see the screen door. My little boy's supposed to be in the house playing his video game. So I see him at the TV messing with her ring, and I'm thinking, what's he doing? So I just stand there and I watch him, and I watch him lay it back down the curve real gently, and I go back in, and I said, just My little girl says, Mama, Bubba broke my ring. I went there and I checked it out. And her ring was broke. I said, Johnson, did you break her ring? He said, after just a minute, I said, son, you better not lie to me. I said, because if you lie to me, I'm going to spank you. He said, there and he said, nope, I ain't touch it. I done watched the kid do it. I mean, I watched him do it. I told him, I said, Jonathan, look. I said, I'm going to ask you one more time. I said, son, I just do it right now. What you do is, I said, I'm going to ask you one more time. I said, and if you lie to me, I said, I'm going to take your own belt off you and I'm going to put you in it. I said, because well, get am I trying to teach you that you can't lie to me if I'm constantly telling you, if you do this, if you do this, I'm going, and I never do. Oh, I had to go out to my car and I called Penny. I was calling. I said, oh, Penny, I don't know what to do. What do I do? I mean, I was on the phone with her for over an hour scrolling. I said, I can't go no more. She said, Sharon, you got to. You got to. And I still that day I couldn't do it. Oh, I could not do it.
So
I
you
was
didn't
so
follow
torn.
through all
Yes,
those
the next
times.
day before he went home. Before he went home, because I had to let myself calm down. Because I'm one that when I have my kids, I won't spank them out of anger. I won't punish them. I will let myself. I'll go outside and I'll count to 10. I'll calm down. I'll come back and give you. So that next day I went there and I said, son, this kid, I don't want to have to do this, but Lord, it was killing me, and I literally did have to take his little oaken belt he had, and I was crying as hard as he was, and had to spank him, and I never had the problem again. Though if I told him, if you lie to me or if you do this, I'm going to spank you, and he from then on was.
Yeah.
But boy, he had me so tore up. I sitting out in my car, Penny, I don't know what to do. What do I do? What do I want to get to see him every so often? What am I supposed to do? She said, Sharon, you told the kid.
Right.
And I was like, oh, girl, I got to do it.
Right.
But he did. He taught me one of the biggest lessons right then, that if I'm going to expect them to do what they say, I've got to back up what I'm going to say. So
That's true.
and it was a major turning point. So
Okay.
My she was steal money from me.
oh Lord,
On his phone. And it got to the point we went to a store one day, y'all. We get up the street, and the kid said, Prashad, we got some chapstick. So I'm like, where you get it from? Just do it. You know. Because my daughter, she tell you, if you tell her tell the truth, this how I get her. I say, you know, if you tell the truth, you won't get a whooping.
we tried.
So she'll end up telling the truth. She go ahead and give in every time. So now I get to the point she tells me whatever. If I want to know, she go tell me because she don't want to whoop it. So I can't whoop her if she tell me the truth. Now I won't whoop her then because I don't want to lie to her, you know. But that day I made her take that chest all the way back to that store. We marched all the way back.
We had to do that with Stephanie. She had a habit of picking up packs of chewing gum or this or that, and that's how we broke her. We made her take it back to the store. Still made her pay for that chewing gum. She still did not get that pack of chewing gum after she paid for it. Then we go to Walmart and she walking around with her hands in her pocket like this. And I'll be like, Stephanie, what are you doing? She says, well, Mama, I figure as long as I just keep my hands in my pockets, I can't touch nothing. I said, well, then you learning your lesson. Keep them in your that's what it takes. Keep them in your pockets.
It's just like when me and you was when I was saying on the paper earlier. I was saying I didn't know how to answer that question with if you do your children,
Disobedience.
yeah, your children with. I said I don't know because I don't see to river parents and their kids still turn out terrible because I don't steal, you know.
Oh, I'm not really sure exactly when my little girl got to picking and going and she was
They're
bad on
individuals
gum.
though. They're not little yous.
That's
You
true.
know, they're
That's
individuals.
true.
They got their own
They got their own
personality. So everything they
personality.
do is not a reflection of what you did. I do this, and they're doing this. Like you
I'm
said,
so
you
glad
don't
you
steal.
said that.
So you don't know where she got that from. They're their own individuals.
And
So-
I like how you put it because I don't see it on TV sometimes when they say they blame the parents.
The apple don't fall far from the tree.
I don't know if y'all seen this like a few weeks ago. They actually had on TV where they was going to start charging parents for their kids being bullied for other kids.
Oh yes.
And I said, "Wow, you gotta be kidding me!" I said because I don't know how to. My thing would be if you know you can't just say parents want their kids to be bullied because I always tell my kids don't bully nobody, but do.
Protect yourself, fend for yourself.
But I don't believe in them bullying other kids. I'm not going to lie. They know I'm not going to go for that, you know. And I have had some parents in the neighborhood, you know, their kids got to be bullied. And when my kids, like my daughter, when we first moved there, you know, she had a altercation with one of the children in the neighborhood. And she was actually not too far down from my house. It was like the sidewalk and my house, like, you know, this way. And I could see her standing there on the sidewalk trying to make it back to my house. And the little boy just, came up, beat, hold, this, that, and other. For no, she hauled off. And I couldn't stop her, and I was like, oh my God, I said, please come on back up here, please come on back. And that parent got mad. And I'm trying to explain to the parent, because I'm not going to come out there and act, ugly and nothing. I'm just trying to talk to them.
But you're trying to keep
I'm
the
like,
situation under
ma'am,
control.
you don't understand what just happened.
Right.
Your children came over here and be big. She didn't want to hear it.
Yeah, my kid don't do that.
Okay, let me switch gears here just a little bit. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's all interesting information. But my last question to you guys is, what type parents did you have? What style would you say? I'm not talking about their personality right now. I'm talking about their parenting styles. Remember, that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Giving in, giving orders, giving choices. Which one? I can tell you right off. Mine was giving orders.
Mine
My parents gave
was
orders.
too, yeah.
And so I think that dictated to me, I gave orders. But don't always work that way, but that in my particular case, I did. So
My parents are from that generation gap. The parents just ain't really that involved with the talking and the this and the that. So they was more, I guess that'd have to be the
Giving
third.
orders.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because that's all, it never was sit down and have a conversation when I was your day. It was, well, you gotta go do this and you need to do this.
Right.
And
And that's generational, like you said.
I think,
It's
for some
the
reason, I don't
time.
think that's why I didn't turn out like that. I'd rather sit down and have a conversation with my kid
Right.
and let them hear it from me than have to go out and hear it from who knows.
Yeah. Interesting point. What about you, Shanita?
My parents. That's not a lot I remember about my childhood. A lot of stuff I just blocked out. My mom.
What about your mom? She give orders, give in, or give choices?
She was mean. She was verbal abusive. But, I mean, I don't know. It's like my mom, I don't remember some things, but we get along good now. Well,
So as a child, do you think it was more of giving orders though, or giving in? Did she give in to you? Did she just give orders? Or did she give you some choices?
Let's say more choices, I guess. I just don't remember a lot.
You don't remember a lot about it. What about you?
Mine was giving choices. My mom had 10 kids, so.
So she gave choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of choices. But, okay.
She was, she told you what to do. She gave orders too, but.
So she was between give orders
Yeah.
and give choices.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Lynn?
I think mine was probably more giving in. But if I did something wrong, then I could not stand it when she would talk to me about what I'd done wrong. How disappointed she was with me.
Disappointment. Okay, so you couldn't stand disappointment. DJ?
My dad was, I don't know, he gave orders and my mom gave me choices, so it was kind of,
A balance.
yeah.
So he give the orders and then mom would kind of make a choice out of it for you, so
Yeah.
to speak.
Well, I guess they're disciplined. When he would discipline me, she wouldn't, and if she would, he wouldn't. So they were kind of never together on the discipline. So I always wanted mom to discipline me more than dad.
Okay.
You
I
know.
understand that.
And we're on the same page.
Oh no.
Mine were on the same page and it was giving orders. 100% giving orders in the house. Maybe when I got high school, I feel like it was given choices because I'd earned their trust and I was responsible and I was real independent. So I think I got more choices then. But all of my little young life growing up toward high school was always given orders. But I can really be honest and say I was given some choices in high school. But one of those choices really wasn't a choice. Is if you're late for curfew, you will never go out again to any game, any school party, any school function. So I was never late. And when I say never, I mean never. I just knew the consequences. And it just, I just didn't want to be in the house every Friday when everybody was at the football game or the basketball game. I wanted to be there too.
I had parents that didn't allow us to do nothing like that. We didn't get to participate in any of the activities, go to any kind of dances, football games, nothing.
So yours was just strictly giving orders then. Okay, well,
That's all.
and it's nothing wrong with the styles. I only asked so that I can get you guys to look into yourselves and see, like you already said it. You said mine was giving orders, and that's why I'm not that way. You know, because you know, it's like we make choices because of a reason.
Yeah.
So I'm authoritarian because I think, well, my children are adults now, but I thought that it worked pretty well. Now, nobody's perfect. Did I make some mistakes? Of course I did. But I thought it worked pretty well with my parents, with me. So I guess I thought it out. Maybe I didn't think about it. Maybe I just thought that was the right way to be. You get where I'm going with it?
Yeah.
You just think that's it. Or you think that's not it, and so you don't want to go that route. But I don't think we think it. It's subconscious. You know, we don't make that choice to be the style we are. We just are the style we are. Because we are made up of what we're made up of. Okay? So I just wanted to wrap that up to try to get us to look and kind of think about that over the next week as well. Once you kind of think about that. And also I want you to kind of think of some triggers when you're home with your team this week. And you know, you have 2 teams, right? I want you to try to, you as well, don't you have 2 teams? Just the one. Okay. Just the one, that's okay. I want you to kind of think, and so next time when you come, I won't be the facilitator next time, but we'll still all be here together. I want to hear some of those triggers that was pushed, and I want to hear how you responded to it. Because now we're what? Aware of it. Okay? We're aware of our actions at this point. Okay? And I do want to leave one little thing with you before we end the session. It was a story that was told to me back in Sunday school when I was a child, and it was where this boy would always be bad, and his dad would always put a nail in the door every time he did something, and every time this boy was disobedient, Dad would take a nail, hammer it in the door, until one day there were no space on the door for another nail. So the boy said, Dad, I think I want to be good now. I see all those nails in the door, and I just want to be good. And so he said, Dad, if I make a deal with you, if every time I'm good, if every time I do well, you take out a nail, that would make me feel better. His dad said, okay, we'll do that. So the little boy changed his behavior, and he would say, Dad, I did what you, and I cut the grass, took a nail out. Dad, I did this, and you didn't even have to tell me, took a nail out. His grades were great, okay? Everything, his conduct at school was terrific. And at the end of the time, however long it took, all the nails were gone. But you know what his daddy said? The boy said, Dad, look, all the nails are gone. And his daddy said, yeah, son, all the nails are gone, but the holes are still there. So we need to think about that is respect to this, back to this picture, okay? The holes are still in the door. So it's not much of a door. We can see right through it. It's not going to keep us warm because what? We don't forget. They're in our subconscious. Even if we don't talk about it, these things are there for our children. The memories are there. The harsh things we say to them are there. I mean, I know it's a process. We have to keep them in line, but we do need to watch what we say and how we say it. And that is how we're going to start changing. This is the beginning. We're just going to start kind of changing how we react to our teenagers. Okay?
That's so true.
Okay, that's about wraps it up for me today. I thank y'all for coming again.